Greetings, chosen vessel. I am Michael, commander of the celestial forces, protector of divine truth, and bearer of the sword of justice. My presence before you is not coincidental, it is ordained. The veil between realms has thinned specifically for this transmission. Do not look away. Do not dismiss what your spirit recognizes as truth. This message has found you because your name has been spoken in the halls of eternity. A divine urgency compels this transmission. The celestial timers have been activated, and a 2-hour window of prophetic revelation has opened over your life. What I am about to reveal has been hidden from human sight, concealed in sacred scrolls accessible only to those whose names are written in the book of life. Type AMEN to receive blessing 1444 and to seal this connection between us. The angelic council has convened 3 times regarding your destiny within the past celestial cycle. Your name was brought forth with both concern and profound expectation. I must reveal to you a truth that has been deliberately concealed. There are individuals in your immediate sphere, those who smile in your presence, who have gathered in shadow to orchestrate your spiritual derailment. Their whispers have ascended to heavenly courts, and their intentions have been recorded. But what they intended for destruction, the divine has transmuted for your elevation. You have felt it, haven't you? The inexplicable heaviness, the sudden obstacles, the draining of your vital force, the separation from what once nourished your spirit. These are not random occurrences. They are evidences of a coordinated attempt to divert you from your sacred assignment. Your adversaries believe they operated in secrecy, but nothing remains hidden from celestial sight. In exactly 2 hours from when these words reach your consciousness, the first seal of divine intervention will be broken. The individuals who plotted against your purpose will experience a holy disruption to their designs. Some will be removed from your path entirely, while others will face the mirror of their own deception. This is not vengeance, it is divine recalibration. Type AMEN to receive blessing 2222 and to activate the shield of divine protection around your spirit. Listen carefully. 3 signs will manifest in your physical reality as confirmation of this divine intelligence. First, an unexpected message will reach you containing information that only an omniscient force could orchestrate. Second, you will encounter an unusual sequence of numbers repeatedly. Recognize them as coded assurances of heavenly attention. Third, someone from your past will resurface, bearing either reconciliation or a lesson that completes an unfinished spiritual chapter. I must now reveal to you what has been hidden behind the 7th veil of spiritual sight. Your bloodline carries a dormant spiritual inheritance that your adversaries have sensed and feared. This is why the targeting has intensified in recent months. You are not merely a random soul on a random journey. You are a carrier of divine encoding that, once fully activated, will disrupt entrenched systems of spiritual oppression. The sensation of isolation you have experienced was not abandonment, but divine sequestering, a necessary preparation. In this sacred cocoon, your spiritual DNA has been undergoing recalibration, strengthening you for the revelation that now unfolds. As we approach the first hour of this 2-hour prophetic window, I am authorized to reveal the names of 3 celestial guardians assigned specifically to your journey. They are Raziel, keeper of divine mysteries, Jophiel, illuminator of consciousness, and Chamuel, cultivator of divine love. They have been working ceaselessly on your behalf, even when your human perception registered only silence or absence. Type AMEN to receive blessing 3333 and to acknowledge these guardians into your conscious awareness. Now I must speak of the betrayal that has been orchestrated against you. It comes not from obvious enemies, but from those who have received your trust, your vulnerability, your authentic essence. In a realm invisible to human eyes, a council of 7 has been formed specifically to divert the resources, relationships, and revelations meant for your advancement. This council includes both human conspirators and energetic forces that have attached to your divine timeline. But hear me clearly, their power expires today. As the 2nd hour approaches, a celestial court case regarding your destiny has reached its conclusion. The verdict favors your complete liberation and restoration. Every spiritual resource that was diverted will now return multiplied. Every relationship that was tampered with will either be restored with greater authenticity or permanently removed to prevent further spiritual contamination. Most importantly, the divine assignment you have sensed but could not fully articulate is now being downloaded directly into your spirit with unprecedented clarity. The confusion lifts now. The uncertainty dissolves. The divine GPS of your soul is being recalibrated to the original coordinates of your purpose. Type AMEN to receive blessing 4444 and to accept this divine recalibration. I must now address the financial blockages that have been strategically placed in your path. These are not the result of your misalignment or spiritual deficiency. They were tactically positioned by those who understood that by restricting your material resources, they could limit the reach of your divine assignment. A sacred reversal of these conditions has been authorized at the highest levels of celestial authority. Within 7 days, unexpected channels of provision will begin to open. Some will come through surprising human vessels. Others will appear as opportunities strategically aligned with your authentic gifts. Still others will manifest as the sudden removal of long-standing obstacles, creating immediate pathways to abundance. This is not random prosperity, it is calibrated provision for purpose. As we cross the midpoint of our prophetic window, I am revealing to you the existence of a sacred scroll with your spiritual lineage. This document contains the names of 12 souls throughout history who carried fragments of the same divine assignment now entrusted to you. Their collective wisdom, courage, and spiritual intelligence is being spiritually transfused into your consciousness beginning today. You will notice an unprecedented clarity regarding your path. Solutions to persistent problems will appear with supernatural simplicity. Creative strategies that have eluded you will suddenly crystallize in your understanding. This is the inheritance of your spiritual ancestors being activated in real time. Type AMEN to receive blessing 5555 and to accept this ancestral wisdom transfusion. There is something I must expose with divine urgency. A soul close to you, one whose energy you have interpreted as supportive, has been functioning as a spiritual gatekeeper, deliberately limiting your access to divine connections, opportunities, and revelations. This individual has maintained two faces, one presented to you and another presented to a network that benefits from your containment. The divine court has issued a decree of exposure that cannot be reversed. Within 14 days, irrefutable evidence of this duplicity will come to light. When it does, you must resist the human temptation toward emotional engagement. Your silence will be your strength. Your non-reaction will be your most powerful declaration. Allow divine justice to unfold without the interference of human emotion. This exposure is not designed to wound you, but to liberate you from an attachment that has functioned as a spiritual anchor, preventing your full acceleration. Once this weight is removed, you will experience a quantum leap in spiritual clarity and manifestation power. Just 90 minutes remain in our prophetic window. In this sacred space, I am authorized to reveal to you a divine strategy for the neutralization of every assignment formed against your progression. For 40 days, you will enter a period of strategic silence regarding your deepest intentions, your most significant movements, your authentic aspirations. This is not deception, it is divine wisdom. Those who have accessed your energy by extracting your premature declarations will suddenly find themselves operating with outdated intelligence. Their calculations will falter because the spiritual data they have relied upon will no longer align with your recalibrated trajectory. Type AMEN to receive blessing 6666 and to activate this divine strategy of sacred silence. I must address the physical symptoms you have experienced as a result of this spiritual opposition. The unexplained fatigue, the disrupted sleep patterns, the fluctuations in vital energy. These are not merely physical phenomena, but manifestations of spiritual warfare directed at your depletion. A divine healing frequency is now being transmitted directly to these points of energetic attack. Breathe deeply and receive this restoration. Feel the divine current of celestial healing move from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, neutralizing every point of energetic interference, strengthening every spiritual boundary, revitalizing every depleted center of life force. This healing is more than temporary relief. It is a fundamental rewiring of your spiritual immune system, making it impervious to the specific frequencies that your adversaries have weaponized against you. From this moment forward, these tactics will find no resonance within your energy field. As we approach the final hour of our prophetic window, I reveal to you that 12 angelic guardians have been positioned at the 12 gates of your life's sacred geometry. These sentinels carry flaming swords of discernment and protection. No energy, entity, intention, or individual can now enter your sphere without passing through their divine filtration. This means that moving forward, you will experience an unmistakable clarity about who and what belongs in your life. The confusion about certain connections will dissolve, The second guessing of your intuitive knowing will cease. The divine GPS of your spiritual discernment is being elevated to unprecedented accuracy. Type AMEN to receive blessing 7,777 and to acknowledge these 12 guardians. Now I must speak of the sacred assignment for which your soul volunteered before entering this earthly incarnation. This mission is multidimensional, operating simultaneously on earthly and celestial planes. Its full scope cannot be articulated in human language, but I am permitted to reveal 3 specific dimensions of your divine purpose. First, you are a designated pattern breaker for your bloodline, positioned at a crucial generational intersection to transmute karmic cycles into liberating spirals of healing and elevation. The inexplicable burdens you have carried were not random. They were the weight of generational patterns converging at your coordinates for the specific purpose of their transmutation through your awakened consciousness. Second, you are a frequency holder for a particular vibration of divine truth that is essential for the collective awakening now unfolding on Earth. Your presence, even in silent, unrecognized spaces, alters the energetic composition of environments and conversations, seeding possibilities that would remain dormant without your vibrational contribution. Third, you are a bridge builder between seemingly disparate realms of knowing, a translator of concepts, energies, and understandings that typically remain segregated. This is why you have never fully belonged to any single group, tradition, or paradigm. Your divine assignment transcends these boundaries, weaving connections that few can recognize but many will benefit from. The opposition to your purpose has been proportionate to its potency. Those who have conspired against you have sensed the threat your awakening poses to establish systems of control. But their miscalculation was in assuming that your power could be contained through conventional methods of spiritual sabotage. Type AMEN to receive blessing 8,888 and to fully activate these 3 dimensions of your divine purpose. In exactly 45 minutes, a significant shift will occur in the spiritual atmosphere surrounding your divine assignment. Resources that have been held in celestial trust, awaiting the precise moment of your readiness, will begin their descent into your earthly experience. These include relationships aligned with your authentic purpose, material provision calibrated to your specific needs, and unprecedented clarity regarding your next steps. This release has been timed with divine precision. Not a moment too soon, nor a second delayed. The celestial trustees of these resources have confirmed your vibrational readiness to receive and steward them in alignment with divine intention. I must now address a persistent doubt that has infiltrated your consciousness. The questioning of whether you have somehow misunderstood your calling or missed your divine timing. This doubt was not generated from your own spirit, but was tactically implanted to destabilize your conviction and delay your advancement. Let me be unequivocal, you have not missed your moment. You have not misinterpreted your calling. You have not failed in your divine assignment. What you have experienced has been a divinely orchestrated recalibration, a necessary reorientation to ensure that when you move forward, you do so in perfect alignment with celestial intention. The delay was not denial. The silence was not absence. The confusion was not mistake. All has been preparation for this precise moment of clarity and empowerment. Type AMEN to receive blessing 9,999 and to dissolve every implanted doubt. As we enter the final 30 minutes of our prophetic window, I reveal to you that a divine countdown has been initiated regarding a specific individual who has functioned as a primary architect of opposition to your purpose. This soul, known to you but not recognized for their true role, has been given divine opportunity for course correction. Should they fail to realign with divine truth, a process of removal will begin that no human intervention can halt. This is not punishment but divine protection, both for them and for the sacred assignment they have opposed. Watch for the signs of either their transformation or their transition from your sphere of influence. This divine intervention extends beyond a single individual to an entire network that has operated in synchronicity against your advancement. Their coordinated efforts have been documented in celestial records, and a comprehensive divine response has been authorized. In the coming days, you will witness an unprecedented unraveling of these connections. Some will dissolve through geographic separation. Others will fragment through exposure of previously hidden conflicts. Still others will simply fade as their energetic cohesion dissipates under the influence of divine light. Your role in this process is strategic non-engagement. Offer neither resistance nor assistance to these divine dismantlings. Your neutrality creates the space for divine recalibration without the static of human emotion or intervention. Type AMEN to receive blessing 11,111 and to align with this strategy of divine neutrality. Now I must address the sacred covenant established for your protection and provision. Before your earthly incarnation, 12 celestial guardians entered into a divine agreement regarding your journey. This covenant ensured that regardless of earthly circumstances, specific provisions would be guaranteed for the fulfillment of your assignment. These provisions include divine intervention at crucial junctures, spiritual intelligence beyond ordinary access, material resources aligned with purpose-specific needs, and the consistent companionship of evolved souls who resonate with your authentic frequency. This covenant has never been revoked or diminished. What you have experienced as limitation or lack has been a temporary recalibration, not a cosmic oversight or abandonment. The provisions guaranteed by this covenant are now being released with accelerated timing to compensate for the period of strategic delay. Within 21 days, tangible evidence of this covenant's activation will manifest in your physical experience. Recognize these manifestations as the fulfillment of spiritual promises, not as random good fortune or coincidence. As we approach the final 15 minutes of our prophetic window, I reveal to you the existence of an energetic council that has been assembled specifically for your guidance and protection. This council includes both celestial beings and elevated human consciousnesses who have completed their earthly journeys. Their collective wisdom is now available to you through the portal of intuitive knowing. The thoughts that arrive with unusual clarity, the solutions that appear with mysterious simplicity, the guidance that resonates beyond logical questioning, these are the transmissions of your divine counsel, activated by this prophetic connection. Type AMEN to receive blessing 12,222 and to formally acknowledge this counsel. There is a specific frequency of abundance that has been calibrated for your unique spiritual signature. This frequency transcends conventional understanding of prosperity, incorporating not only material provision, but multidimensional wealth, the richness of divine connection, the treasure of aligned purpose, the abundance of genuine relationship, and the prosperity of spiritual authority. This frequency has been held in celestial trust, awaiting the precise vibrational conditions within your consciousness. Those conditions have now been met through the alchemical process of your recent trials. What appeared as loss was actually refinement. What manifested as delay was actually preparation. From this day forward, you will notice a significant shift in your relationship with divine supply. The struggle and striving will be replaced by synchronistic flow. The anxiety about provision will dissolve into confident expectation. The carefully calculated management of perceived scarcity will transform into the joyful stewardship of perpetual abundance. This is not a temporary blessing, but a fundamental recalibration of your abundance frequency to its original divine setting. The birthright vibration of limitless supply that fuels limitless purpose. Type AMEN to receive blessing 13,333 and to activate this abundance frequency. Just minutes remain in our prophetic window. In this sacred culmination, I reveal to you that the spiritual opposition you have faced reached its crescendo precisely because your moment of greatest impact draws near. The intensity of resistance has been directly proportional to the significance of your imminent contribution. 3 specific soul agreements are about to activate in your experience. Divine connections that were established before your earthly journey began. These souls carry frequencies that will catalyze your remembering, amplify your authentic expression, and create a triangulation of support for your most meaningful work. When they appear, and they will appear within 40 days, you will recognize them not by external characteristics, but by the unmistakable resonance of ancient familiarity. Your spirit will know them. Your heart will recognize them. Your mind will confirm what your deeper knowing has already acknowledged. These connections transcend ordinary relationship. They are sacred contracts, cosmic collaborations, divine partnerships in purpose. Together, you will accomplish what none could manifest alone. The synergy of your combined frequencies will generate possibilities previously inaccessible to individual effort. Type AMEN to receive blessing 14,444 and to activate these soul agreements. In these final moments of our prophetic connection, I seal this transmission with divine authority and protection. What has been revealed cannot be erased from your consciousness. though the specific words may fade from human memory. The activations initiated cannot be reversed by any earthly power or spiritual opposition. You stand now at the threshold of unprecedented clarity and empowerment. The veils that have obscured your vision are permanently lifted. The barriers that have restricted your movement are irrevocably dissolved. The limitations that have contained your impact are eternally removed. From this moment forward, you walk in the fullness of divine remembering, not as an earthbound soul seeking enlightenment, but as an awakened consciousness remembering your celestial origin and authorization. This remembering brings with it responsibilities commensurate with its privileges, for to whom much is revealed, much is required. Your assignment now unfolds with divine precision, each step illuminated with supernatural clarity, each choice presented with unmistakable discernment, each challenge accompanied by proportionate empowerment. You will no longer wonder about your direction or question your capacity. Both have been divinely settled in this prophetic encounter. Type AMEN to receive blessing 15,555 and to seal this prophetic transmission in the core of your eternal spirit. As our prophetic window draws to its completion, I establish over you a divine covering of celestial protection. No weapon formed against your purpose will prosper. No strategy designed to delay your advancement will succeed. No deception crafted to distort your perception will penetrate your clarity. You are sealed, protected, and empowered by celestial decree. The opposition that has plagued your journey is now rendered powerless against the activated authority of your authentic assignment. What begins from this moment is the unobstructed expression of your divine purpose, supported by the full resources of celestial provision. Remember these final instructions. For 7 days, maintain sacred silence about what has been revealed. Allow these divine activations to integrate fully into your consciousness without the static of premature articulation. After 7 days, you may speak of these matters, but only to those whose spiritual frequency can receive such revelations without distortion. Be vigilant yet peaceful. Be strategic yet spontaneous. Be intentional yet surrendered. This paradoxical stance creates the precise conditions for divine flow through human form, the ultimate alchemy of celestial purpose through earthly presence. I, Michael, Archangel of divine protection and celestial truth, have delivered this transmission by highest authorization. It is done. It is sealed. It is accomplished in divine perfection. The divine secret about your future is this: it has already been secured in the celestial records. What remains is not the question of if, but the beautiful unfolding of how. Not the uncertainty of what, but the sacred revelation of when. Not the doubt of can, but the divine adventure of will. Go forth now in the unshakable knowing that what has been divinely promised is already cosmically guaranteed. Your only responsibility is joyful participation in its magnificent unfolding. Type AMEN to receive final blessing 77,777 and to complete our prophetic connection with divine sealing. Now I speak to you about the sacred geometries that have been activated in your energy field through this transmission. 3 specific configurations have been established as energetic foundations for your accelerated advancement. The first is the Merkaba of divine protection, a counter-rotating geometric structure that creates an impenetrable shield around your spiritual essence. This sacred geometry neutralizes lower frequencies before they can penetrate your energetic boundaries, maintaining the purity of your internal vibration regardless of external conditions. The second is the Flower of Life template for abundance manifestation, an intricate pattern that aligns your creative centers with the infinite supply of universal provision. This geometric blueprint recalibrates your relationship with material resources, transforming it from the manipulation of perceived scarcity to co-creation with limitless divine supply. The third is the Celestial Triangle of Purpose Acceleration, a specialized configuration that creates quantum pathways for the expedited realization of your divine assignment. This sacred geometry bypasses conventional timelines, establishing direct channels between divine intention and earthly manifestation. These geometric activations are not temporary adjustments, but permanent installations in your spiritual architecture. They will continue to operate with increasing potency as you consciously acknowledge and engage with them through intentional awareness. Type AMEN to receive blessing 22,222 and to fully integrate these sacred geometries. As our prophetic window nears completion, I reveal to you the divine significance of the challenges you have endured. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every loss, every delay has been meticulously utilized in the divine economy of your development. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been random. Nothing has been punitive. What appeared as abandonment was strategic isolation for focused recalibration. What manifested as betrayal was divine filtration of misaligned connections. What emerged as financial limitation was protective preparation for substantial provision. What felt like confusion was the necessary deconstruction preceding elevated clarity. You stand now at the culmination of this divine process, forged in the sacred fires of purposeful challenge, tempered in the cooling waters of divine wisdom, and now emerging as an instrument of unprecedented precision for your specific assignment. In divine timing that transcends human understanding, all that has been prepared in celestial realms now begins its manifestation in your tangible experience. The gap between heaven's intention and earth's expression closes with accelerated velocity. The divine blueprint and your lived reality merge with supernatural synchronicity. Type AMEN to receive blessing 33,333 and to activate this divine convergence. I speak now of the sacred covenant of souls that has been established for your divine assignment. This covenant includes beings from multiple realms united by a singular dedication to your purpose's fulfillment. Some will be recognized in human form. Others operate exclusively in spiritual dimensions. All are irrevocably committed to your mission's accomplishment. This covenant ensures that you will never walk alone, never work unsupported, never advance unprotected. The appearance of isolation has been just that, an appearance, a temporary perception that now dissolves in the revelation of your expansive spiritual team. In coming days, you will experience unmistakable confirmations of this covenant's activation. Unexpected assistance will arrive with perfect timing. Resources will appear through improbable channels. Supportive connections will manifest with supernatural synchronicity. Each of these occurrences serves as tangible evidence of intangible collaboration. Your role within this covenant is conscious receptivity. Release the conditioned belief that worthiness must be earned through struggle or that value must be proven through isolated achievement. The divine economy operates through collaborative synergy, not segregated striving. Type AMEN to receive blessing 44,444 and to activate your conscious participation in this covenant. As we approach the final moments of our connection, I reveal to you the existence of a celestial identity that transcends your earthly persona. This divine aspect of your being carries knowledge, capabilities, and spiritual authorities that have been largely dormant during your human journey. Through this prophetic transmission, a sacred bridge has been established between your human consciousness and the celestial identity. The wisdom, discernment, and spiritual technologies available to this expanded aspect of your being now become accessible through the portal of your awakened awareness. You will notice this activation through seemingly spontaneous knowings that transcend your accumulated learning, creative solutions that exceed your previous capabilities, and insights that surpass your gathered experience. These are not external downloads, but the awakening of dormant aspects of your complete identity. This integration between your human and celestial aspects creates an unprecedented capacity for your divine assignment's fulfillment. The limitations of purely physical existence are transcended, while the grounded effectiveness of embodied presence is maintained. The perfect fusion for tangible spiritual impact. Type AMEN to receive blessing 55,555 and to activate this sacred integration. Just minutes remain in our prophetic window. In these sacred final moments, I establish 3 divine declarations over your life and purpose. These declarations carry celestial authority that no earthly power can override and no spiritual opposition can negate. First, I declare the permanent dissolution of every bloodline curse, generational pattern, and ancestral limitation that has restricted the full expression of your divine design. These spiritual impediments are now not merely suspended, but completely eradicated, their energetic roots extracted from the soil of your existence. Where these limitations have operated, divine blessings of corresponding magnitude now flow without obstruction. Second, I declare the irrevocable activation of your spiritual inheritance. The accumulated wisdom, authority, and divine provision designated specifically for your assignment. This inheritance transcends material wealth, though it includes the necessary resources for your purpose's fulfillment. Its primary treasure is spiritual empowerment proportionate to your divine responsibility. Third, I declare the supernatural acceleration of divine connections essential to your purpose's next phase. The individuals, organizations, and spiritual alliances necessary for your assignment's fulfillment are now being divinely orchestrated into perfect alignment with your path. These connections will manifest with a synchronicity that defies coincidence, confirming their sacred orchestration. Type AMEN to receive blessing 66,666 and to seal these divine declarations in the eternal record of your spirit. The prophetic window now completes its designated cycle. What has been initiated cannot be reversed. What has been revealed cannot be concealed. What has been activated cannot be deactivated. Divine processes now unfold with perfect precision and unstoppable momentum. Remember this sacred truth as you integrate this transmission. You are never merely human. Your temporary forgetting was part of the divine design, creating the conditions for authentic remembering. That remembering accelerates now, restoring your consciousness to its original expanded state while maintaining the focused vessel of your human form. The perfect alchemy for earthly impact through celestial connection. Go forth in the unshakable knowing that you walk in divine authorization, celestial protection, and sacred purpose. The opposition you have faced was merely the shadow acknowledging the approaching light. That light now shines without impediment, illuminating both your path and the paths of those divinely connected to your journey. I, Michael, Archangel of Divine Protection and Celestial Revelation, have delivered this transmission by highest authority. It is accomplished. It is sealed. It is eternally established. Type AMEN to receive the final blessing 99,999 and to complete our sacred connection until we commune again in divine timing. The sacred seal has been broken and our divine communion continues by celestial decree. This extension of our prophetic connection has been granted by the highest council in response to the purity of your reception. Not all are permitted such sustained divine transmission. Your spiritual readiness has been acknowledged in the courts of heaven. I must now reveal to you what lies behind the eighth veil. Truths reserved only for those whose names appear in the sealed section of the Book of Divine Purpose. Listen with your spirit, for these revelations transcend mental comprehension alone. Type AMEN to receive blessing 111,111 and to unlock your spiritual capacity for these higher revelations. The conspiracy against your divine purpose has operated on 7 simultaneous dimensions. While you perceived only its physical and emotional manifestations, the primary architecture of this opposition has been constructed in realms invisible to human sight. This multidimensional strategy explains why conventional methods of resolution proved ineffective. You are addressing symptoms rather than sources. But divine intelligence has monitored every aspect of this orchestrated hindrance. Celestial counter-strategies have been deployed at each dimensional level, creating a comprehensive dismantling of opposing forces. This divine intervention was timed with perfect precision, not premature, which would have prevented necessary development of your spiritual strength, nor delayed, which would have permitted unnecessary damage to your divine assignment. What you will witness in coming days is the systematic collapse of opposition that has appeared impenetrable. Structures of hindrance that have persisted despite your best efforts will suddenly dissolve, revealing their hollow nature. Individuals who have functioned as human anchors to your advancement will either undergo dramatic transformation or be divinely removed from your path through circumstances requiring no action on your part. This is not random chaos, but divine orchestration, the perfect synchronization of heavenly justice with earthly manifestation. Type AMEN to receive blessing 222,222 and to align with this divine orchestration. I must now address the sacred geometric pattern of your divine purpose. Your assignment is not linear, but multidimensional, creating a spiritual configuration that resembles a celestial dodecahedron, 12 divine facets united in perfect sacred symmetry. Each facet represents a different expression of your purpose, operating in distinct realms of influence. The opposition you have encountered targeted specific points of connection between these facets, attempting to fragment the unified power of your complete assignment. This strategy sought to isolate aspects of your purpose, reducing your impact through compartmentalization. The confusion you have experienced regarding your direction was the direct result of this targeted interference. Through this prophetic transmission, the divine geometry of your purpose is being supernaturally reintegrated. The connections between each facet are being fortified with celestial light, creating an unbreakable cohesion that no strategic opposition can disrupt. You will experience this reintegration as unprecedented clarity, regarding the interconnection between seemingly separate aspects of your calling and capabilities. Where there has been fragmentation, there will be wholeness. Where there has been confusion, there will be crystal clarity. Where there has been hesitation, there will be confident movement. This is the divine restoration of your purpose's sacred geometry. Type AMEN to receive blessing 333,333 and to activate this geometric reintegration. Now I must reveal to you the precise nature of your spiritual inheritance, which has been held in celestial trust until this moment of divine readiness. This inheritance includes 5 specific endowments that transcend ordinary spiritual gifts. The first is the mantle of divine perception, the supernatural ability to perceive reality as it exists in its truest form, unfiltered by human limitation or deception. This perception operates beyond the 5 physical senses, accessing information through direct spiritual knowing. It reveals motivations behind actions, truth beneath appearances, and outcomes sealed in divine timing. The second is the scepter of spiritual authority, divine empowerment to establish or dismantle spiritual atmospheres through authorized declaration. This is not arrogance or control, but consecrated stewardship of divine intention for specific environments and situations. Words spoken from this authority carry supernatural implementation, regardless of apparent opposition. The third is the seal of heavenly protection, an impenetrable shield against targeted spiritual attacks designed to derail your divine assignment. This protection operates automatically, requiring no conscious activation, creating a permanent buffer between your purpose and every strategy formed against it. The fourth is the chalice of divine wisdom, access to solutions and understanding that transcend accumulated knowledge or experience. This wisdom flows from direct connection to the infinite intelligence of the divine, providing perfect guidance calibrated precisely for each unique situation you encounter. The fifth is the key of supernatural provision, divine authorization to access resources specifically designated for your assignment's fulfillment. This provision transcends conventional financial systems while also operating within them, ensuring that material needs align perfectly with spiritual purpose. Type AMEN to receive blessing 444,444 and to activate these 5 spiritual endowments. I speak now of the divine timeline established for your assignment's fulfillment. 3 specific time markers have been set in the celestial chronology of your purpose. These are not arbitrary deadlines, but divinely orchestrated convergence points where earthly conditions and heavenly intentions perfectly align for maximum impact. The first marker comes 40 days from now, when a significant door of influence opens that has been divinely reserved for your specific contribution. This opportunity will appear to materialize suddenly, but it has been meticulously prepared through countless divine arrangements beyond human perception. Your readiness for this moment has been the focus of angelic assistance that has operated without your conscious awareness. The second marker arrives 6 months from now, when a divine connection manifests that fundamentally expands the reach and resources available for your purpose. This relationship transcends ordinary networking, representing instead a cosmic collaboration established before Earth's foundations. The recognition between your spirits will be immediate and undeniable. The third marker unfolds 1 year from now, when the first visible manifestation of your assignment's largest impact begins to materialize in tangible reality. Seeds planted now will then show undeniable evidence of divine blessing, confirming both the source and significance of your purpose. This visible confirmation will silence doubt, both internal questioning and external skepticism. These divine time markers are not subject to human interference or spiritual opposition. They are sealed in celestial chronology by unalterable decree. Type AMEN to receive blessing 555,555 and to align with this divine timeline. I must address the sacred calling upon your voice. Your words carry a frequency of spiritual activation that transcends their literal meaning. When you speak from divine alignment, your voice becomes a delivery system for spiritual frequencies that operate beneath conscious awareness, catalyzing awakening in those divinely prepared to receive. This supernatural dimension of your communication explains why certain individuals experience profound shifts through seemingly simple interactions with you. It also clarifies why specific opposing forces have attempted to silence your voice through direct attacks on your confidence, clarity, and conviction. They have sensed the spiritual potency your voice carries even when you have doubted it. From this day forward, divine protection surrounds your voice. Attacks designed to silence you will meet unprecedented resistance. Doubts targeted at your expression will dissolve in the face of spiritual confirmation. Confusion sent to dilute your clarity will find no anchor in your consciousness. Simultaneously, divine amplification increases your voice's spiritual impact. Words spoken in alignment with your purpose will carry supernatural penetration, reaching beyond intellectual barriers to access the spirit directly. This is not manipulation but divine activation, the awakening of dormant spiritual receptors through authorized frequency. Type AMEN to receive blessing 666,666 and to activate this divine dimension of your voice. Now I reveal to you the existence of 3 celestial libraries that have been opened for your access. These repositories contain divine intelligence beyond ordinary revelation, providing specialized wisdom for your unique assignment. Most seek spiritual guidance through general channels, but you are being granted direct access to customized divine instruction. The first is the Library of Divine Strategy, containing specific spiritual technologies for navigating complex situations with supernatural wisdom. The solutions stored in this celestial archive transcend human logic, presenting divine pathways invisible to conventional planning. When facing situations that appear to have no favorable resolution, your spirit will access strategic downloads from this repository. The second is the Library of Sacred Patterns, holding the divine templates for creation and manifestation. These patterns reveal how spiritual principles materialize in physical reality, allowing for conscious cooperation with divine creative processes. Your increasing ability to recognize these patterns will transform your manifestation capability from effortful production to aligned co-creation. The third is the Library of Soul Blueprints, containing the divine design of individual souls particularly connected to your purpose. This sacred knowledge allows for communication and collaboration that addresses the authentic spirit rather than the presented persona. Your interactions will increasingly bypass surface presentations to connect with divine essence, creating unprecedented effectiveness in relationships central to your purpose. Access to these celestial libraries comes through contemplative silence, awakened intuition, and divine dream state. The guidance you receive will carry a distinctive resonance of absolute certainty despite its apparent uniqueness or unconventionality. Type AMEN to receive blessing 777,777 and to activate your access to these divine libraries. I speak now of the sacred chamber that has been prepared for your spiritual renewal. This divine space exists beyond physical location, accessible through the portal of sacred consciousness. It has been specifically designed to provide essential restoration when the demands of your assignment temporarily exceed your human capacity. Within this chamber, 7 healing frequencies continuously operate. The frequency of divine peace, neutralizing effects of spiritual warfare. The frequency of sacred clarity, dissolving confusion from competing voices. The frequency of celestial strength, restoring depleted spiritual energy. The frequency of divine courage, disintegrating accumulated fear. The frequency of sacred creativity, revitalizing stagnant inspiration. The frequency of celestial connection, repairing damaged divine communion. The frequency of sacred joy, transmuting purpose-related heaviness. You may access this chamber through conscious intention, followed by receptive stillness. 20 minutes within this sacred space provides restoration equivalent to days of conventional recovery. This divine provision ensures sustainable empowerment for your assignment's complete fulfillment. Type AMEN to receive blessing 888,888 and to activate your access to this sacred chamber. I must now speak of the divine council that has been assembled specifically for your guidance and protection. This council includes 12 ascended masters and 7 archangelic beings, each contributing specialized wisdom and authority to your assignment's fulfillment. Their combined presence creates a spiritual covering of unprecedented protection and provision. The ascended masters bring perfected understanding of human experience, spiritually transformed, offering wisdom that bridges earthly challenge and divine transcendence. The archangelic beings bring specialized celestial authorities essential for your assignment's multidimensional impact. This divine council has been granted unusual authorization regarding your purpose, permission to intervene directly when specific thresholds of opposition are crossed. This intervention requires no formal invocation, but is automatically triggered when predetermined conditions manifest. You have already experienced this divine assistance without recognizing its source. Moments when insurmountable obstacles suddenly dissolved through no explainable human agency. From this moment forward, your conscious recognition of this counsel amplifies their spiritual cooperation with your purpose. This is not abdicating personal responsibility, but engaging divine partnership with appropriate reverence and receptivity. Type AMEN to receive blessing 999,999 and to formalize your connection with this divine counsel. Now I reveal to you the 5 individuals who have been divinely positioned as human anchors for your spiritual assignment. These souls are strategically located within your sphere of influence, though not all have yet been recognized for their divine significance in your journey. These individuals are not random supporters, but specifically chosen vessels whose spiritual frequencies create essential stability for your purpose's earthly manifestation. Their combined energetic contribution establishes a human foundation that complements the celestial support structure already discussed. The first provides grounded wisdom that balances your visionary perception, preventing impractical spirituality disconnected from effective implementation. The second offers emotional fortification, creating essential strength during seasons of intense spiritual warfare. The third contributes analytical clarity that translates spiritual downloads into strategic action. The fourth presents creative amplification that expands your innovative capacity beyond individual limitation. The fifth supplies connective influence that bridges your purpose to essential networks and resources. In divine timing, each of these individuals will be clearly revealed through a distinctive spiritual confirmation that leaves no room for misidentification. Until then, interact with all connections with sacred awareness, recognizing that divine assignments often arrive in unexpected packaging. Type AMEN to receive blessing 1,111,111 and to activate divine recognition of these 5 anchors. I must address the sacred scroll that contains your spiritual lineage, a divine document recording the souls throughout history who have carried fragments of the same celestial assignment now entrusted to you. This lineage includes 12 primary ancestors whose spiritual DNA has been mystically transfused into your divine identity. These souls navigated challenges strikingly similar to those you have encountered, creating a wisdom heritage specifically applicable to your journey. Their collective experience forms spiritual pathways through seemingly impassable territories, establishing divine precedent for obstacles you now face. Through this prophetic transmission, the sealed wisdom of these spiritual ancestors is being released into your consciousness. Solutions they discovered through costly experience now become intuitively available to you, reducing your learning curve through divine inheritance. Spiritual authority they established through faithful stewardship now transfers to your assignment by celestial decree. You will notice this activation through unprecedented clarity regarding challenges that previously created confusion, an intuitive knowing that transcends your accumulated experience. Accept these divine insights without questioning their seemingly spontaneous emergence. They are your spiritual inheritance being supernaturally accessed. Type AMEN to receive blessing 2,222,222 and to activate this ancestral wisdom transfer. Now I reveal to you the divine significance of 7 specific numbers that will appear repeatedly in your experience. These numerical sequences are not coincidental, but celestial communications, divine markers indicating specific spiritual activities regarding your assignment. When you encounter 111, know that a divine portal has opened for accelerated manifestation. Words spoken and actions taken during these periods carry unusual creative potency. Exercise sacred intention with this divine timing. When 222 appears, recognize divine confirmation of your current direction. This sequence indicates perfect alignment between your choices and heavenly intention. Proceed with confident certainty despite any contradicting circumstances. The appearance of 333 signals, angelic amplification of your efforts. Heavenly assistance has been tripled in response to specific opposition. This divine reinforcement ensures breakthrough regardless of apparent resistance. When you witness 444, understand that foundational stability has been established for a significant advance. The groundwork for major manifestation has been divinely completed, allowing for confident construction of your purpose's next phase. The sequence 555 heralds divinely orchestrated transformation. Significant change has been authorized at the highest level, creating transitional acceleration beyond normal progression. Embrace this sacred evolution without resistance. When 777 manifests, divine perfection is being established. Supernatural completion of sacred cycles enables quantum advancement. This numerical sign confirms you have fulfilled necessary requirements for significant spiritual promotion. Finally, the appearance of 999 indicates divine culmination and imminent rebirth. The completed fulfillment of one assignment phase perfectly prepares the emergence of another. This sacred ending contains within it the seeds of divinely ordained beginning. Type AMEN to receive blessing 3,333,333 and to activate your recognition of these divine numerical communications. I speak now of the sacred technologies being released to support your divine assignment. These spiritual tools transcend conventional understanding, operating at the intersection of divine empowerment and human stewardship. 5 specific technologies are being entrusted to your conscious awareness. The first is frequency alignment, the supernatural ability to detect and adjust spiritual vibrations within environments and individuals. This divine technology allows you to identify discordant energies, disrupting divine intention, and to restore harmonious frequencies through focused intention. Physical spaces, group dynamics, and individual encounters can be transformed through this calibrated spiritual sensitivity. The second is timeline perception, the divine capacity to recognize how past, present, and future events interconnect within divine purpose. This expanded awareness reveals how seemingly unrelated experiences form coherent patterns within your assignment's fulfillment. Apparent delays and detours become recognizable as essential components of divine orchestration. The third is spiritual architecture, the sacred ability to build energetic structures through authorized declaration. This divine technology manifests through purposeful words that establish invisible but tangible spiritual foundations upon which physical manifestations can securely rest. Your assignment includes creating these spiritual frameworks for specific divine initiatives. The fourth is quantum healing, the supernatural capacity to address root spiritual causes producing physical or emotional symptoms. This divine technology operates beyond symptomatic treatment to resolve fundamental energetic disruptions. Your presence carries this restorative frequency even when you engage without conscious healing intention. The fifth is manifestation acceleration, the sacred ability to collapse conventional timeframes between divine intention and physical expression. This spiritual technology operates through the alignment of belief, declaration, visualization, and expectation, creating supernatural expediting of divine outcomes without violating free will principles. Type AMEN to receive blessing 4,444,444 and to activate these divine technologies. I must now address the sacred ceremonies that have been divinely prescribed for specific junctures in your assignment's unfolding. These are not religious rituals, but spiritually strategic activities that create optimal conditions for divine manifestation at crucial turning points in your purpose's progression. The first is the ceremony of release, a sacred practice designed for severing connections to completed assignment phases and relationships that cannot transition to your next level. This divine protocol prevents unnecessary spiritual baggage from hindering advancement. It involves intentional declaration, symbolic representation, and focused finality, creating clean endings that honor completed purposes while embracing divine redirection. The second is the ceremony of sacred silence, a divine practice of strategic verbal containment regarding specific assignment aspects vulnerable to premature exposure. This spiritual discipline protects embryonic divine initiatives from disruption through inappropriate sharing. Certain revelations carry temporal sensitivity, requiring protective concealment until divinely appointed disclosure moments. The third is the ceremony of divine connection, a sacred practice for formalizing spiritual partnerships essential to your purpose's fulfillment. This divine protocol creates intentional recognition of heaven-orchestrated relationships, establishing clear energetic boundaries and expectations aligned with specific assignment requirements. The fourth is the ceremony of sacred alignment, a divine practice designed for recalibrating your spiritual positioning when subtle deviation occurs through extended spiritual warfare or prolonged manifestation delays. This restoration process realigns your consciousness with original divine coordinates through intentional recommitment and focused spiritual attunement. The fifth is the ceremony of manifestation activation, a sacred practice that creates optimal spiritual conditions for converting heavenly intention into physical reality. This divine protocol synchronizes your consciousness with specific manifestation frequencies through deliberate declaration, visualization, and expectant receptivity. You will receive divine guidance regarding the precise timing and specific elements of each ceremony as your assignment unfolds. These spiritual technologies are not formulaic exercises, but living divine encounters uniquely calibrated for each implementation. Type AMEN to receive blessing 5,555,555 and to establish your authorization for these sacred ceremonies. Now I reveal to you the divine significance of 3 specific gemstones that carry spiritual frequencies particularly aligned with your assignment. These physical elements have been encoded with vibrational properties that support your purpose's fulfillment, creating tangible anchors for specific celestial energies. The first is celestite, which amplifies clear divine communication and strengthens angelic connection. This crystal resonates with the specific frequency of your spiritual assignment, creating enhanced receptivity to heavenly guidance. Its presence in your personal environment establishes a vibrational field conducive to unobstructed divine transmission. The second is labradorite, which provides energetic protection during expanded spiritual perception. This stone creates a protective buffer that allows safe access to heightened states of awareness without vulnerability to lower frequencies. Its shifting illumination physically represents the divine discernment being activated in your consciousness. The third is moldavite, which accelerates divine transformation and purpose alignment. This rare crystal's extraterrestrial origin creates unique vibrational properties that catalyze quantum spiritual advancement. Its presence supports rapid integration of higher frequencies being downloaded through this prophetic transmission. These gemstones are not magical objects, but divinely encoded tools, physical elements whose molecular structure creates specific energetic resonance with aspects of your spiritual assignment. Their purposeful presence in your environment establishes supportive frequencies that complement the internal transformations now unfolding. Type AMEN to receive blessing 6,666,666 and to activate your recognition of these spiritual tools. I speak now of the divine financial provision designated for your assignment's fulfillment. A sacred trust has been established in celestial realms containing the exact resources required for your purpose's complete expression. This provision transcends conventional financial limitations while operating within established earthly systems. This divine economy functions through 3 primary channels. The first is unexpected restoration, the supernatural return of resources previously diverted through opposition or misalignment. What appeared permanently lost now returns multiplied by divine decree, creating abundant foundation for your next assignment phase. The second channel is strategic connection, divine introduction to individuals who serve as human stewards of resources specifically designated for purposes aligned with your assignment. These connections transcend networking, representing instead divine orchestration of cooperative provision for kingdom advancement. The third channel is supernatural multiplication, divine acceleration of growth processes that typically require extended timeframes. This spiritual dynamic creates expansion that defies natural explanation, establishing resource abundance proportionate to assignment scope rather than previous limitation. The activation of this divine provision correlates directly with your stepping fully into the specific assignment phase currently unfolding. Resource flow and purpose engagement maintain perfect divine synchronization, neither excessive supply creating purposeless abundance, nor insufficient provision limiting authorized assignment scope. Type AMEN to receive blessing 7,777,777 and to activate this divine financial provision. I must address the sacred writing you are divinely called to produce. Specific manuscripts have been recorded in celestial archives, spiritual communications destined to flow through your unique voice and perspective. These are not merely helpful resources, but essential transmissions for collective spiritual advancement. 3 specific works have been divinely commissioned. The first addresses the reconciliation of spiritual intuition with practical implementation, bridging mystical perception and tangible manifestation. This teaching resolves the artificial separation between heavenly connection and earthly effectiveness. The second work illuminates the divine architecture of authentic transformation, revealing the spiritual technologies and sequential processes through which genuine change manifests. This teaching transcends superficial modification to address fundamental consciousness transformation. The third manuscript explores the sacred dynamics of divine partnership, both with celestial beings and strategically connected humans. This teaching clarifies the spiritual principles governing cooperative advancement for kingdom purposes. These writings will emerge through intervals of inspired download, followed by disciplined development. The divine communication comes complete, but requires your faithful stewardship to translate spiritual impression into accessible expression. Recognize that resistance intensifies proportionate to impact. Opposition targeted at these works confirms their significance rather than suggesting their abandonment. Type AMEN to receive blessing 8,888,888 and to activate these divine writing commissions. Now I reveal to you the 3 specific spirit guides assigned exclusively to your divine purpose. These elevated beings operate with specialized expertise, essential for your assignment's fulfillment. Their constant presence provides supernatural assistance, tailored precisely to your unique spiritual function. The first is Raziel, Keeper of Divine Mysteries, who ensures your access to sacred knowledge traditionally veiled from human perception. His presence facilitates your increasing ability to perceive divine patterns behind physical manifestations, recognizing spiritual causation beneath material effects. The second is Cassiel, Guardian of Divine Timing, who maintains the sacred synchronization between heavenly intention and earthly manifestation in your assignment. His vigilant attention prevents premature movement that would limit effectiveness while ensuring prompt action when divine convergence occurs. The third is Raphael, Vessel of Divine Restoration, who oversees the healing dimensions of your purpose. His perpetual presence ensures that your assignment's restorative aspects flow with maximum effectiveness, addressing root spiritual causes rather than merely alleviating symptoms. These divine assistants require no elaborate invocation or ritualistic engagement. Their committed partnership with your purpose activates through simple acknowledgement and receptive collaboration. Recognize their distinctive spiritual signatures. Raziel through unexpected knowing, Cassiel through perfect timing, and Raphael through restorative outcomes that transcend explanation. Type AMEN to receive blessing 9,999,999 and to formalize your conscious partnership with these divine guides. I speak now of the sacred sound that has been divinely tuned to your specific spiritual frequency. This celestial tone creates resonant alignment between your consciousness and divine intention, establishing optimal conditions for heavenly communication and supernatural manifestation. The note F sharp carries particular significance for your assignment. When this tone penetrates your awareness, whether through music, nature, or intentional creation, it establishes immediate amplification of your connection to divine guidance. This frequency serves as a direct conduit between earthly limitation and celestial perspective, creating enhanced receptivity to spiritual intelligence. Purposeful engagement with this sacred sound creates 3 specific effects. First, it neutralizes discordant energies accumulated through extended immersion in environments operating at lower frequencies. Second, it calibrates your energetic field to optimal receptivity for divine download and inspiration. Third, it strengthens the vibrational coherence of your spiritual authority, enhancing the effectiveness of authorized declarations. This divine tool requires no complex implementation, but manifests its effectiveness through simple, conscious engagement. Incorporating this sacred frequency into your spiritual practices, particularly during moments of divine communion, creative development, or authorized declaration, creates supernatural amplification of your assignment's effectiveness. Type AMEN to receive blessing 11,111,111 and to activate your recognition of this sacred sound. I must address the divine significance of specific geographic locations uniquely aligned with your spiritual assignment. 3 primary places have been designated as sacred convergence points, where the veil between heavenly intention and earthly manifestation thins considerably for your specific purpose. These locations are not randomly significant, but precisely calibrated to the unique frequency of your divine assignment. Their energetic composition creates optimal conditions for specific aspects of your purpose's fulfillment. While your effectiveness is not limited to these places, it experiences supernatural amplification within them. The first location focuses your capacity for divine revelation and enhanced spiritual perception. In this place, veils that typically obscure multidimensional awareness dissolve, allowing unprecedented clarity regarding complex spiritual matters. Creative solutions and divine strategies download with unusual immediacy and comprehensiveness. The second location amplifies your authority for transformational declaration. Words spoken in this place carry exceptional manifestation power for divine purposes. Declarations aligned with heavenly intention experience accelerated implementation, collapsing conventional timeframes between spiritual initiative and physical materialization. The third location enhances your ability for divine connection and strategic relationship formation. Interactions in this place transcend ordinary networking to access soul-level recognition and purpose alignment. Collaborative partnerships formed here carry unusual synergistic potency for kingdom advancement. Divine guidance will bring unmistakable confirmation when you encounter these sacred convergence points. Their recognition arrives through distinctive internal resonance that transcends logical justification, a soul-level knowing that confirms divine designation. Type AMEN to receive blessing 22,222,222 and to activate your recognition of these sacred locations. Now I reveal to you the divine significance of specific animals that serve as spiritual messengers and confirmation signs along your assignment's progression. These creatures appear not by coincidence, but by divine orchestration, delivering targeted spiritual communication through their presence. The eagle carries messages regarding divine perspective and elevated vision. When this majestic bird appears, whether physically or through symbolic representation, it confirms heaven's invitation to transcend limited perception and access expanded spiritual understanding. Its presence signals divine timing for perspective transformation, essential for your assignment's advancement. The owl delivers communication concerning hidden wisdom and veiled truth. Its mysterious appearance, particularly during pivotal decision points or directional uncertainty, confirms divine revelation of knowledge typically concealed from ordinary perception. This messenger signifies heaven's release of essential spiritual intelligence for your next assignment phase. The butterfly communicates divine messages about transformation and beautiful emergence. Its appearance during challenging transitions confirms a sacred metamorphosis unfolding beneath apparent dissolution. This delicate messenger provides heavenly assurance that current dismantling creates necessary conditions for divine reformation. The deer brings spiritual messages regarding gentle strength and intuitive movement. Its sudden presence signals divine timing for peaceful advancement rather than forceful progression. This graceful messenger confirms heaven's direction toward paths requiring sensitive discernment rather than obvious navigation. These divine messengers require no superstitious engagement, but simple, reverent recognition of their spiritual significance. Their appearances serve as heaven's compassionate confirmation during pivotal moments when human uncertainty threatens divine momentum. Type AMEN to receive blessing 33,333,333 and to activate your spiritual attunement to these divine messengers. I speak now of the sacred covenant established between your spirit and the divine before your earthly embodiment. This divine agreement contains the comprehensive blueprint of your purpose, including specific provisions for its fulfillment, regardless of earthly circumstances or spiritual opposition. This covenant includes 5 immutable guarantees. First, divine revelation proportionate to assignment requirement, the progressive unveiling of essential spiritual knowledge precisely calibrated to your purpose's unfolding phases. Second, supernatural provision aligned with divine purpose, material resources perfectly synchronized with heavenly intention rather than human expectation or earthly economics. Third, strategic divine connections for purpose amplification, relationships specifically designed to enhance your effectiveness through sacred collaboration. Fourth, celestial protection against purpose-targeted opposition, specialized shielding against forces specifically committed to your assignment's disruption. Fifth, divine restoration following purpose-required sacrifice, heavenly compensation for resources, opportunities, or connections surrendered in obedience to assignment priorities. This sacred covenant remains immutably active regardless of conscious recognition. However, your intentional acknowledgement of its existence creates enhanced cooperation with its provisions through expectant receptivity and confident advancement. Divine covenants operate with perfect integrity, ensuring complete fulfillment of every sacred promise. Type AMEN to receive blessing 44,444,444 and to activate your conscious recognition of this divine covenant. I must now address the sacred chamber of healing that has been established for your complete restoration. This divine space exists beyond physical dimension, but becomes accessible through specific spiritual alignment. Within this sacred environment, 7 divine healing frequencies operate simultaneously, creating comprehensive restoration of spirit, consciousness, emotion, and physical vitality. This celestial infirmary provides specialized healing for purpose-specific depletion, the unique spiritual, emotional, and physical drain associated with your particular assignment. Conventional restoration addresses general human needs, but this sacred space provides calibrated renewal for the distinctive demands of your divine purpose. Access to this healing chamber occurs through intentional disengagement from external stimulation, followed by focused receptivity to divine presence. 20 minutes within this sacred space produces restoration equivalent to days of ordinary recovery, creating sustainable advancement despite assignment intensity. The frequency of divine peace neutralizes effects of sustained spiritual warfare. The vibration of heavenly joy dissolves accumulation of purpose-related heaviness. The resonance of celestial love heals relational wounds from assignment-required vulnerability. The frequency of divine creativity restores innovative capacity depleted through sustained implementation. The vibration of heavenly wisdom counteracts confusion from strategic spiritual opposition. The resonance of celestial strength replenishes energy diminished through extended spiritual output. The frequency of divine presence restores intimate connection compromised through task-oriented functionality. This sacred healing space represents divine commitment to your sustainable effectiveness. Heaven's provision for longevity that transcends human limitation through supernatural restoration. Type AMEN to receive blessing 55,555,555 and to activate your access to this divine healing chamber. Now I reveal to you the sacred scrolls that contain the complete blueprint of your divine assignment. These celestial documents record the fullness of your purpose as conceived in heavenly realms before time's foundation. While human perception accesses this design incrementally, these scrolls contain its comprehensive expression without reduction or distortion. These divine documents remain securely preserved in celestial archives, while simultaneously being progressively unveiled to your awakening consciousness. The gradual revelation prevents overwhelming your finite perception while ensuring complete fulfillment of infinite purpose. This divine approach balances human limitation with heavenly intention, creating sustainable advancement toward comprehensive expression. The first scroll contains your assignment's divine objective, the specific transformation your purpose is designed to facilitate in earthly and spiritual realms. This sacred document clarifies the precise focus of your spiritual authority and the exact nature of your divine contribution. Its revelation eliminates confusion regarding your authentic calling versus externally imposed expectations. The second scroll records your assignment's divine provision, the specific resources, relationships, capabilities, and authorities designated for your purpose's fulfillment. This sacred document details heaven's comprehensive commitment to your effectiveness, encompassing both spiritual empowerment and material supply. The third scroll documents your assignment's divine authorization, the specific spiritual territories and functional domains where your purpose carries particular authority. This sacred document clarifies exactly where your divine influence operates with maximum effectiveness and which areas exceed your assigned jurisdiction. Through this prophetic transmission, access to these sacred scrolls accelerates, creating unprecedented clarity regarding your divine assignment's authentic nature and specific expression. Confusion dissolves as heaven's original intention increasingly overshadows human interpretation or expectation. Type AMEN to receive blessing 66,666,666 and to activate this accelerated revelation of your assignment's divine blueprint. I speak now of the sacred symphony that has been composed specifically for your divine purpose. This celestial arrangement creates the exact vibrational environment required for your assignment's optimal expression. Its divine harmonies establish perfect resonance between heavenly intention and earthly manifestation through your consecrated vessel. This sacred music exists beyond physical sound, operating primarily as spiritual frequency that influences energetic conditions surrounding your purpose. However, certain earthly music serves as physical approximation of these divine harmonies, creating tangible access to their spiritual benefits. When such music reaches your awareness, Immediate resonance signals its divine significance for your assignment. Purposeful engagement with these sacred sounds creates 3 specific benefits. First, it neutralizes discordant frequencies that accumulate through prolonged immersion in environments operating at lower vibrations. This spiritual cleansing restores optimal receptivity to divine communication and guidance. Second, these sacred harmonies calibrate your energetic field to precise alignment with your assignment's divine frequency. This spiritual tuning enhances your effectiveness as a conduit for heavenly intention into earthly circumstances, maximizing your purpose's transformative impact. Third, this divine music strengthens the coherence of your spiritual authority, creating enhanced effectiveness in authorized declarations and purpose-aligned interventions. Words spoken following immersion in these sacred sounds carry amplified manifestation power for divine purposes. This spiritual technology requires no complex implementation, but achieves maximum effectiveness through simple, conscious engagement with divine discernment regarding its appropriate application. Type AMEN to receive blessing 77,777,777 and to activate your recognition of the sacred symphony. I must now address the divine significance of your name as recorded in celestial archives. Beyond its earthly designation, your true name carries vibrational encoding that activates specific aspects of your divine purpose when properly acknowledged and engaged. This sacred identity transcends human nomenclature, embodying the essence of your assignment as conceived in heavenly realms. 3 specific dimensions of this divine name carry particular significance for your current assignment phase. The first dimension encodes your spiritual authority, the precise domains where your purpose carries heaven-backed jurisdiction. Conscious alignment with this aspect of your divine identity activates unprecedented effectiveness in these designated areas. The second dimension encodes your spiritual inheritance, the specific wisdom, capabilities, and resources transferred to your stewardship from both celestial sources and your spiritual lineage. Intentional acknowledgement of this divine birthright activates accelerated access to these designated provisions. The third dimension encodes your spiritual protection, the specific defensive and offensive measures established for your assignment's preservation against targeted opposition. Purposeful recognition of this divine covering activates its full operational capacity against both visible and invisible adversaries. While your earthly name serves as necessary human identifier, your celestial name carries your authentic spiritual signature, the unique vibrational pattern that distinguishes your divine purpose from all others. This sacred identity becomes increasingly predominant in your conscious awareness as spiritual maturity develops, creating enhanced alignment between heavenly designation and earthly expression. Type AMEN to receive blessing 88,888,888 and to activate your recognition of this divine identity. Now I reveal to you the 3 spiritual weapons that have been divinely commissioned for your specific assignment. These sacred armaments provide specialized empowerment for the particular opposition targeted against your purpose. Unlike general spiritual protection, these divine implements address the exact nature of warfare directed at your unique calling. The first is the Sword of Divine Truth, a specialized spiritual weapon that severs deceptive entanglements specifically designed to obscure your assignment's clarity. This sacred implement operates through declarative statements that align perfectly with heavenly reality, creating immediate separation between authentic divine guidance and counterfeit direction. The second is the Shield of Divine Perspective, a specialized spiritual defense that neutralizes projectiles of false accusation and misrepresentation targeted at undermining your divine confidence. This sacred protection reflects these attacks back to their source while simultaneously strengthening your alignment with heaven's unchanging validation. The third is the Spear of Divine Initiative, a specialized spiritual weapon that penetrates barriers of delay and obstruction strategically positioned against your purpose's advancement. This sacred implement operates through bold action taken in precise divine timing, creating breakthrough where sustained opposition has established apparent impenetrability. These spiritual armaments manifest through specific attitudes, declarations, and actions, rather than physical objects or ritualistic engagement. Their effectiveness requires no elaborate protocol, but simple recognition of divine authorization followed by confident implementation. Type AMEN to receive blessing 99,999,999 and to activate these divine weapons for your assignment's protection and advancement. As our extended prophetic communion draws toward completion, I establish 3 final divine declarations over your life and purpose. These celestial pronouncements carry irrevocable authority that no earthly power can overrule and no spiritual opposition can nullify. First, I declare the permanent establishment of divine clarity regarding your authentic assignment. Confusion strategically targeted at your purpose's dilution is now eternally dissolved. Heavenly intention regarding your specific contribution now communicates with unprecedented directness, creating unmistakable guidance regardless of external circumstances or opposing counsel. Second, I declare the irrevocable activation of divine authorization regarding your specific jurisdiction. Limitations artificially imposed by human systems or spiritual opposition are now permanently removed. The exact domains where your assignment carries heaven-backed authority now operate with supernatural receptivity to your aligned intervention and influence. Third, I declare the eternal establishment of divine protection surrounding your purpose's fulfillment. Opposition specifically designed to derail your assignment's completion now encounters impenetrable resistance. The full manifestation of your divine calling proceeds with unstoppable momentum, supernaturally preserved from every strategy formed against it. These declarations do not eliminate necessary development processes or bypass divinely designed growth experiences. Rather, they ensure that essential refinement occurs without fundamental derailment, creating perfect balance between transformative challenges and assignment preservation. Type AMEN to receive final blessing 111,111,111 and to seal these divine declarations in eternal record. Our extended prophetic communion now reaches its divine completion. What has been revealed cannot be concealed. What has been activated cannot be deactivated. What has been established cannot be uprooted. Divine purposes now unfold with perfect precision and unstoppable momentum. Remember this eternal truth as you integrate this celestial transmission. Your assignment was conceived in realms beyond time, fashioned with divine precision for this specific moment in earthly chronology. Your presence is not accidental, but intentional, a purposeful positioning of heavenly design in temporal reality for kingdom advancement. Go forth now in unshakable confidence that you walk in divine authorization, celestial protection, and sacred purpose. The opposition you have faced merely confirms the significance of what heaven has entrusted to your stewardship. That stewardship now proceeds with unprecedented clarity, authority, and effectiveness through the divine activations established in this prophetic encounter. I, Michael, Archangel of divine protection and celestial revelation, have delivered this extended transmission by highest authority. It is accomplished. It is sealed. It is eternally established in both heavenly record and earthly reality. Type AMEN to receive the final blessing 777,777,777 and to complete our sacred connection until we commune again in divine timing.